I'll also take questions at the end of training. So after I'm finished with the VBC training, I'll take questions there, and then after the agent training, I'll take questions there. All right, so the Amazon Chime. So you guys are all contracted with Amazon Chime, which is actually what I'm using now for screen share, and you've all dialed into the bridge. You should have received an invite. Check your spam folder in case you haven't, from Amazon Chime. You each have your own conference bridge number and conference ID. You can have up to 100 people on your conference bridge. You can also do screen sharing with people internal and external. So this is the web version. I've also installed it on my computer. And I can select what screen I want to share. So if you have multiple monitors, you can do that as well. If you wanted to click on the More tab, you can hit Record. Right now I'm currently recording, so I could hit Stop Recording when I've completed. I can invite people. I can mute the attendees, like a force mute. You can also change your audio. Do you want to dial in, or do you want to use the mic from your computer? Or if you have a headset, use that as well. And then I have my attendees list. So it's a pretty user-friendly situation. You just have to start sharing your screen, and then you should be good to go. For your recordings, on the left-hand side, you'll see Amazon Chime Recordings. If you just click on that tab, it'll take you to your previous recordings. We can go all the way up to, I think I have from a year ago. So I'm not exactly sure the retention policy, but they haven't been deleted since I've recorded them, at least for over a year now. And what I do is I download the recording, and we use Gmail, we use Google, so I'll upload the recording to the Google Drive, and then I'll just send it via Google Drive, because the recording files are fairly large, a little too large for you to send via email. So keep that in mind. Any questions with Amazon Chime?
Everyone's afraid to ask. No one gets it. Everyone's afraid to ask.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, you guys can use Chime with each other. You guys can do some testing. There is a Chime link and then Conference Bridge, and you can just send that in a calendar invite. That's what I usually do. I just create a calendar invite and then I send it along. And as people start to join in.
I have a question. So the person I send it to, they would then have to install Amazon Chime to make this all work?
They don't have to install it. They only have to install it if they want to share their screen. So it's a good question. But what they can do is they can just view it in their browser. They don't actually have to install the software.
Okay.
But yes, if somebody outside of your company who doesn't have this installed and they say, well, I want to show you my screen, then they'll have an option to download Chime. And then they'll have the screen share option. So I could just hit stop sharing and then they'll see screen share. They'll be able to. So again, you can have up to 100 people.
So remember, you're interfacing with external partners, clients, customers, that sort of thing. I mean, we can use it internally, but for us, the tool is Microsoft Teams for us to use as well.
Right. All right, so now let's transition to the Vonage Business Cloud app. You should have received a confirmation email with your user info, your username, and then you would need to click on the link to change your password. Keep in mind the login is case sensitive. If you get locked out, or if you need your password reset, or you didn't receive the confirmation email, let your admin team know. They'll be able to resend it. Then you'll go to app.vonage.com, and when you sign in, this is the web version. I use Google Chrome personally. I like Google Chrome. And keep in mind, I forgot to mention, Amazon Chime does not work well with Firefox. So in case one of your attendees has issues, try to get them to use Chrome when signing in. All right, so with the Vonage business application, when you first sign in, you should get a pop-up that says, would you like to install this on your computer? And make sure you install it to your computer, and then you'll see a desktop icon with the Vonage business app. So all you have to do is just double-click on it. The top left, you have your account, this little circle. Make sure it's green. When it's green, that's a good sign. Green means go. You're connected. You can always log out. If you click on this little tablet, there's a little pen. It says new message when you hover over it. You can send messages to each other. You can also send an SMS message to someone's cell phone, like a text. These little white circles, this is your dial pad. Make a call. You can extension dial, or you can enter the 10-digit number. You do not have to dial 987 or 1. You can just enter the area code and the number. Left-hand side, we're just going to kind of work our way down here. We have the inbox tab. So these are messages that I've sent to my team. You can also hit new message here. And you can either type in an external number, or you can search for someone in your company. So if I search for Greg, click on Greg's name, hit the green arrow to continue, and at the bottom I can type my message. If I wanted to call Greg, I can just click on this little handset icon next to his name, where it says call. Most of the time when you're in this app, anytime you hover over an icon, it tells you what it is. What if you wanted to create a group message for your team? Well, next to new message, you have new group. Looks like 2 profile icons. So if you click on it, you can add up to 200 people. That's a lot. And perhaps you're in the, we'll say, sales team. And then you can just search for anyone in your company. And then you can, yes.
So I think we have a question. What did you say?
Does this reference our Outlook contact list, or are we starting over?
No. Our Active Directory list, Outlook list will be there.
Yeah, there is a way to import your Outlook contacts in here, and I can show you guys how to do that. And then also, if you install this app on your cell phone, it'll say something like, would you like to sync your contacts? Make sure you hit yes. So anyways,
Excuse me. If you put that on your personal phone and you say sync your contacts, is that going to take your personal contacts or is it going to take your business contacts?
It should take your personal contacts.
Okay.
But I had a customer with Gmail and they synced theirs and somehow their Gmail contacts got synced with it. So I don't have Outlook personally, but that's something you guys could test it out, once you hit accept and see if you're able to search for any of your Outlook contacts. But it's usually the personal contacts from the cell phone.
If you use Exchange on your, we'll figure it out through the Exchange app on your phone. And now
Yeah.
Bellmont contacts versus all your personal contacts are on your phone. So we'll get some instructions on it. Yeah, thank you. Yep.
Mhm.
So I know you guys are seeing a lot of instant messaging or group messaging. It's fine, Kathy. I think the teams that have teams of folks that are on phones a lot will probably use it more often than just everyone else. But again, I think you want to get used to using Microsoft Teams as well. But you can use it in the setting too.
I have a question I just want to ask so I don't forget. If I restart my computer and I get a call, do I need to click on open the program, or is it going to open on restart? Am I going to get the call? You know what I mean?
You do have to open the program. Now, I have to check, I don't think I have it set up on mine, but where it can do an automatic start as soon as your computer, opens up, then we can do like an automatic startup for the application, so you don't have to
Write that
keep
down.
opening it. Mhm.
We'll do that on Excel. We'll make sure that.
All right, so then I would just hit create, and then I can send my group message here, and I can also add a participant. On the left-hand side, you have your calls tab. This is your call history. You can also sort your call logs, incoming calls, outgoing calls, or you just want to look at your missed calls. You can go to the missed calls tab. When you hover over a call log, you have different options. So if it's not a contact, you can call this person, you can message this person, you can add this person as a contact, or you can block this number. Yeah. Super popular, right? And then to the right, you'll see like the date and time stamp of the missed call, the from number, and then you can always message this person, call this person back here.
Yelda, I have a question. If you're
Sure.
messaging the person, do they have to be on the Vonage app, or will that be a text message to their phone, or how does that appear to the other users?
As long as it's not a landline phone, then when you send a message, it'll be like a text.
How would we
Now,
know
if
if it's a landline phone or not?
Yeah, that doesn't specify here.
That's up with you.
Usually if it's a landline phone and you try to send a message, you'll get a message back saying, this is a landline, charges might incur. Like, because I've done that before where I've sent a message to a landline phone and I got a message back saying it wasn't going through. But, like this one says wireless caller, 954. So I can assume that this is a cell phone number. But yeah. Now, Chad had mentioned something about call flip, where you can, flip the call to your mobile device and then walk out the door and continue the conversation. Or you can flip the call to your desktop and just take the audio from there. And that's what this is, call flip. Looks like two handsets. And you'll have this icon in the mobile app as well. So you can click on it, or you can click on it here. If you, for some reason, can't find the icon, then all you have to do is dial *44 from the mobile app. That's the star code, *44. And then it will pull the call to the app. So that's call flip. On the keypad, exactly. You're going to dial *44 on the keypad in the mobile app. On the left-hand side, you have voicemails. This is your voicemails tab. To the right, you can hit the play button to listen to it. You can hit this envelope button, which will email the message. And you can email the message to anyone. Or you can download the recording. There's a delete voicemail option here at the top right. Looks like a little trash bin. So you can delete the message as well. When you hover over the message here on the voicemails column, you can call this person back. You can delete it. Left-hand side, we're going to go down to contacts. We'll talk about favorites later. Your contacts tab. You can search for anyone. This is pulling your enterprise directory, so everyone in your company. So if you forgot someone's extension, you can just search for that person's name. So I search for Michael. And I can see, okay, here's his extension. Oh, and he has a direct dial number as well. And then I can message or call him. If it's someone that you contact frequently, you might want to add that person as a favorite. the top right, you see this little star? If you click on it, it adds that person as a favorite. And then when you go to your favorites tab, they'll be added here. It's people you contact frequently. Also in the contacts section, you can import contacts from Outlook. You can import your contacts from an Outlook CSV file. So I think in Outlook you need to go to File, Export, the CSV, and then you can, use the Vonage custom template, which is a spreadsheet, and you'll just have to fill out the first name, last name, phone number, attach the file, and it will add your Outlook contacts. So click on the Vonage custom template, and then just use that if you wanted to. So you can import your contacts. If you wanted to add someone outside of your company, just click on Add Contact. Looks like a little profile icon with a plus sign. You can add the first name, last name. You can add the phone number here. And then don't forget to hit Save at the top right. Are there any questions so far?
I have a question.
Yes.
Is there the possibility of integrating with another contact management system, like something Salesforce related, or have you done any integrations with?
So we have a product called Vonage for Salesforce, the Vonage Integration Suite, and it's pretty much a connector. That way, anytime one of your Salesforce contacts calls in, you'll see the contact name displayed, and then you can also create a case or a task in that integration panel, and that task or case will automatically populate in your Salesforce system. So we have something like that. However, this application does not integrate with Salesforce per se. But we do have a Vonage for Salesforce integrator.
Thank you.
So everybody, the Outlook import part, don't let that intimidate you. We're gonna kind of take care of that on the setup, help you out with that. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, initially it'll be your enterprise, like everybody here in the company, right, our enterprise phone list. If you really want like your personal contacts, it's probably fine. Just we'll have to figure that out.
Yeah.
It's pretty typical, right?
Mhm.
Just one second, Gilda. If you're getting a call, like if you have your headset on, it's going to come in through your headset. If you don't have your headset on, or if it's not connected, it's going to ring. Your computer will ring. So just unless you have it muted, though. Very basic.
So our computers stay on all the time then?
They do not stay on all the time. We have working hours. So like this app, when you log off at the end of the day, the app would stop.
But it'll still collect the voicemail. Yours will probably be set up more through your app on your phone anyway, if you wanted to.
Chad, what about when computer times out, it goes back into lock mode?
It'll still work.
You still will?
Hmm?
So when you're saying log out from your computer, what do you mean by it going to your voicemail?
I'm talking about like if you lock your computer and you step away for
Right.
lunch or something.
It'll work.
It goes to sleep.
As soon as you log off, it won't work no more. It'll just go to voicemail.
You're not there to take the call, whether it's turned off or logged off or asleep or whatever, it'll just go to voicemail.
So how do you keep this system from bothering us with phone calls during the weekends or when you're on vacation and stuff like that?
You're not, you're always on now.
You have to log out. There's two things. You can either hit mute devices or you can log out.
No, you have your Outlook for that.
Not if I log out of my computer.
No, well, on the weekend, you're not on your computer, on your phone. So you log out on your phone if you don't want to get Vonage.
You're logging out of the application, not anything else.
Okay.
Yeah, everything else is still running.
Yeah, and if you don't feel like, signing out of the app on your cell phone, at the top left, the green circle, you click on that, you can hit mute all devices, and this is a DND. So it forces all calls to go straight to voicemail. So mute all of them. So if you're signed into the mobile version, the desktop version, it applies to both. So you can do that.
Did you say that all the phone calls were recorded as well, or was that just voicemails?
You can manually pick to record.
You can opt in for it?
So I'm going to show you what it looks like when you get an incoming call. All right, so does everyone see my screen now? It says incoming call. I can either hit the red to hang up, I can put this caller on hold, or I can answer green. So if I hit answer, now I'm on an active call. I can mute if I don't want the other person to hear me. This is just a keypad. I can add a call, so if I wanted to conference someone in. I can transfer this call, and I have different types of transfers. Blind transfer is a cold transfer. I'm just sending it straight through. I can do an attended transfer if you wanted to announce the call before transferring it. Or you can transfer the call to someone's voicemail. Let's say they're out of the office. So if I hit transfer to voicemail, I can just search by name, or I can type in a number. Click on the person's name, and then I would just hit OK. Same thing, blind transfer. I can put in a name, extension, or an outside number. And then just click on his name. You can also park a call. When you park a call, you're essentially putting that call on hold against a parking spot number. And then you can pick up that call from any device. So when you park a call, let's say someone just walked in, hey, I have a call for you, it's on parking spot 2. To pick up a parked call, you have to dial star 104 and then whatever the parking spot number is. So we'll say 2. Because if I transfer a call to you, you have to pick it up within 3 or 4 rings, or it's going to go to your voicemail. Where if I park a call, you have up to 6 minutes until you need to pick it up. So, it's call park.
Is there hold music?
Yep.
There is. So here's hold. Looks like the pause symbol. So if you put a call on hold, it'll say hold at the top left. And then to resume it, you just press the same button. And then you can hang up the call. If you wanted to minimize, yes.
If you don't pick up after 6 minutes, does it automatically go to voicemail, or does it ring back to who transferred the call?
It rings back to who parked the call.
Okay.
And then I'm just going to go ahead and hang up. Are there any questions about an active call?
So I do want to mention that we still will have reception, but we are introducing all trees, if you will. So when a person dials our main number, they have options. They can go to customer service, they can go to accounting, and or they can talk with a receptionist. And if customer service is busy or accounting's busy, it'll automatically go to the receptionist. So I wanted you guys to know that that is something that's also considered.
So you've mentioned 2 star numbers. Are we expected to memorize them and use them, or is there some sort of guide for the hotkeys, star numbers?
We do have a feature code list that I can send to Chad. So We can do that. But yeah, the *44 is just, I don't think I'll check if the *44 is on that feature guide list. But if not, you guys can note that one down if you wanted to do the call flip. But again, that call flip icon should show up on your mobile app. So even if you don't know the code, you can just click on this icon. Looks like this one.
Chad, I have a question about the call tree. When people call in, does it sound like a real person answering the phone, or is it a computer generated?
It's gonna be Danielle or myself.
I'll record it. We're recording them, yes.
You got Barry White.
I have a question. If you put on D&D, do they go straight to voicemail?
Yes. If you click on mute all devices, it'll go straight to voicemail. Won't even ring.
Not allowed to do that.
On the blind transfer, does the receiver see who is transferring them the call?
So that's a good question. The blind transfer will actually show the customer calling line ID, not yours. So if you're transferring a customer, like via blind transfer, it'll show the customer calling line ID for that person. But if you do a consultative, if you do a warm transfer, it's going to show yours. It'll show the person who's transferring it.
Okay.
And I don't know if I mentioned no, I think I already mentioned this. The blind and warm transfer can be internal as well as external. So you could transfer a call to someone outside of your business. I guess the last thing I wanted to go over is in the settings. I'm not going to go through these different tabs here. Never miss a call. I'm just going to kind of go over voicemail. Unless, Chad, if you wanted me to go over call forwarding, simultaneous ring, sequential ring.
Do we have to make our own voicemail message?
Yes. Yes.
So y'all, we won't cover those in this session, but in that contact center with like admin and contact center group.
Okay. So then I'm just going to go over voicemail so that you guys know how to set it up. So the default voicemail pin, well, you can just listen to your voice messages here. Voicemails, you hit the play button. It's easy enough. But to set up your voicemail, let's see, where was I? Settings, voicemail. The default voicemail pin for all users is 1234 pound. Just 1234. But you can also change your voicemail pin here. You can send your voicemail to your email. So you'll get the voice message here in the app, but you can get a copy of it emailed to you if you wanted that. If you don't, then just make sure this is unchecked. And then you have different greetings. You have your name greeting, which is just your name. You have your unavailable greeting, which plays when you don't pick up the phone. So it rings several times, you don't pick up. Then you have a busy greeting, which means your line is busy. You're on the phone. And then you have an out-of-office greeting. You're going on vacation. The out-of-office greeting, if you enable this, it takes precedence over your other greetings. When you come back from vacation, make sure you uncheck this. The best way to record, it's actually very simple. You just hit the record button, and then it'll say, okay, well, put in your phone number. And I'll just look at the phone next to me. So the phone next to me is actually my cell phone. So I can just put in my cell phone number in here. And what will happen is it'll call me, and it'll say, please record your unavailable greeting after the beep. And I just record something, and then it automatically uploads it.
When you do the out of office, do you have to remain logged in, or is it, if you log off, does it still work?
Yes.
So it's cloud-based, basically.
Yeah, the out of office greeting, you're just, it's just a voicemail greeting, and you can sign out, and anytime someone calls you and you don't pick up, it's going to hit your out of office greeting message. All right. And right here, you guys can see all devices are muted, and that's why I have a red circle. And the best thing, I know we haven't ported numbers just yet, but the best thing to do once you're signed into this is to place a call, where it says make a call. Place a call with your headset, call your cell phone, call each other. If your colleague is signed in, you can still extension dial. And just do some test calls. Also, since most of you are using headsets, right? This is important. Under the application tab, where it says call settings, incoming call ring, you can select, your headphones.
Are we gonna keep our existing extensions?
Yes. Yes, you can use the extension just on the keypad, you can just dial the extension like she mentioned before. You don't have to know the whole number. So if you're familiar with everybody's extension, just dial the extension, go.
Okay.
Rhonda?
So past work hours, like on the weekend, if some dealer calls in, they can search my name and leave me a voicemail.
Yes. Yep.
Mhm.
Any other questions on the app? You're gonna have to kind of use it a couple times. But like she said, call interdepartment and kind of play around with it a little bit. It takes a little bit of getting used to. You don't have a phone on your desk. It's through your computer or your mobile device. So it's gonna take a little bit of everybody getting used to it.
But Chad, when you're recording a conversation with somebody and you click that tab, it's telling the other person on the other end that you're recording them, right? They have to be,
Just
you
like
can't just
hers did that.
legally record somebody's conversation without.
I don't know the answer to that. You'll only know if it does
Does.
warn them if you're recording, or do you have to tell them you're recording?
Well, when she started, it made a big announcement. This call is being.
Well, I just wanted to know if the end user on the other end is getting that
That's-
notice.
That's Amazon Chime. So for regular call recording, I'm gonna have to go over that during the admin training, because
So the answer is we'll have to get back to you. I don't know. We don't.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll have to get back to you.
because what we can do, I know for like the call center queues, when we have those entrance messages, the greetings for the call center, we can include, a little blurb that says, you've reached this queue and your call may be monitored or recorded for training purposes. So we could record that in there for the call center. But as far as for all users, we'll have to double check on that.
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, Kathy's team, obviously, we can record all those calls with customers, but I don't know that we set that up for everyone.
All right. Well, if there aren't any other questions, I'm sure there's going to be questions coming up once you guys do some testing. Send your questions to Chad, Kathy, and they can send them to me. And I appreciate you guys joining. We're going to transition to the contact agent training in just a couple minutes.
Chad, I sent you 5 questions.
Via Teams.
And people are gonna ask me questions.
Well, I did, I used Chime, and 5 million Chime.
We're attending tomorrow. So we're not gonna do that. Okay.
So we're gonna reschedule with her then?
No, we're not rescheduling, we have it scheduled for tomorrow after.
That works too. Okay.
But, if you wanna go over phone admin stuff now, you can, but the call center piece. Yalda?
Yes?
Hi, it's Kathy.
Hey.
I had most of my team scheduled for tomorrow, so we can do the agent training tomorrow. If
Okay.
you want to do training with Michael and I and maybe Danielle, we can do that right now if you want.
Okay.
Or we can do it all tomorrow, depending on what you want to do. We had a pretty good turnout today, so I'm not sure how many people will be here tomorrow for the end user training.
Okay.
Definitely, but today was pretty well attended.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah, I noticed we got a lot of people accepting, because I saw that, so that's great. What we can do, so is Michael with you?
Yes.
Yep, I'm here.
Hey there.
So. Thank you.
Thanks. There are two different portals, right? There's the VBC admin portal that Michael was on, which is for like basic user changes, resetting passwords, purchasing additional extensions, that sort of thing.
Right.
Then we have the new voice media, the admin training for the contact center piece.
Mm-hmm.
Looking at the agents, what queues they're assigned to or what groups they're assigned to, dashboard. So what I can do is we can just kind of do like a little intro on the new voice media, unless, Michael, did you have any questions with the VBC side?
No, I'm actually really familiar with it. I've gone over it like 4 or 5 times now.
Oh, nice. Okay, great. So is Kathy going to also be handling that VBC piece, or Kathy, are you just going to be handling the new voice media?
Primarily
admin?
the new voice, but I can back Michael up on some of the things, but I think Michael's pretty much going to be responsible for that, and then, right, is that right?
For the core part, yeah.
Yeah, so like if we need to put on holiday messages or change the call tree in any way, something like that.
Okay.
So for the new voice media piece, yesterday Josh was able to get me logged in, but my team has not been able to log in yet. So I don't know how you want to.
Okay.
If I have to different stuff, I can do that.
Yeah, I think we can reset their password and they can get like a new email.
Well, there was an issue with that because they had to rebuild our entire account because we were on New Voice Media a couple of years ago briefly, and it was sending us to our old account. So I felt like Josh had gotten that taken care of for me, but then when
yeah, that's right. I just remember I heard Josh had told me that you guys actually already have new voice media.
That's
right.
Like 3 years
ago. Okay. Interesting.
That was one thing. The username wasn't clear. It said that it's our email address, but you just did something different.
Typically your username should be your email address.
Okay.
Peter just created an admin login so that, I can show you guys what it looks like on the admin side.
Okay.
Did I? Oh man, I didn't stop the recording.